Well. Pep's at it again, isn't he? City versus Aston Villa is live very soon, half an hour from now. And the team news is out, of course. It's been out for a good 45 minutes now. I always forget the team news comes out an hour 15 ahead of the game now, instead of an hour in the Premier League. It's going to be a long evening, says William Dittmer in the chat. It probably is going to be a long evening. I'll get the teams up on screen for you so you can have a look at them. Fair to say, it's divisive. If you know what the unks are, uncles, it's a sort of euphemism online for old people like myself, an old man. I'd be an unk basically if I was a footballer. There's a lot of them in the team right now, and City are, I would say, setting themselves up for failure. I could be wrong. Stranger things have happened, and I would very happily sit here and look like an idiot, but I've seen enough of this Manchester City side and Guardiola style this season to know that we're probably going to get run through quite a lot. Doesn't mean we won't win, doesn't mean we won't get away with it. I just know how these games go, and we've seen a lot of them. This is the lineup there for you. You got Stefan Ortega in goal. No changes to the back line, really. Nunez at right back. Ruben Diaz alongside Josko Vardiol. A very budding and strong partnership they've got going there, which I quite like. And Nico Riley gets yet another start. The guy has truly arrived as a Manchester City option. Clearly, City's first choice left back right now, which I think a large part of that is actually because Vardiol has established himself at centre back, which is sadly down to the detriment of Kusanov. Kusanov's done nothing wrong at all. He's great, but I mean, Guardiola really enjoys the balance of Ruben Diaz, our captain, our warrior, our leader, and Josko Vardiol's very cultured left foot. Kusanov's time will come, so, don't worry about it. But that's the back line. It's ahead of that, which is where it gets interesting. So score, I've gone for MCATEE on the left wing here. I don't even know if it'll be that. They've gone for Marmoush through the middle. I don't even know if it'd be that either. But you've got Gundogan, Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, James McAtee, and Omar Marmoush. And the bench is as follows. Scott Carson, Manuel Akanji, Abdelkader Kusanov, Rico Lewis, Jack Grealish, Nico Gonzalez, Savinho, Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku. It's mad, by the way, that Phil Foden's just on the bench these days. And I know he's had a slight injury recently, but given where he was last season, it is just a mad drop-off, isn't it? But either way, no wingers again. Savinho, Doku, Grealish, even Phil Foden to an extent. They're all sitting on the bench. Nico Gonzalez out of the team for this one. Rico Lewis not in the team. We've gone for the old guys against this lineup here, which is full of pace and power and guile and skill. Emi Martinez in goal. Lucas Digne and Matty Cash will get forward all day long. Pau Torres and Konsa, a brilliant centre-back pairing. Onana, Kamara and Tielemans. Then Ramsey and Morgan Rogers and Rashford. Oh my God, there's pace and power and no little heart and skill in that side. If you don't think Rashford's scoring tonight, you're an idiot. Doesn't mean he will, but if you don't think he's scoring, you're an idiot. Everyone surely thinks Rashford's scoring tonight. Because of course he will do. The unknown United fan, resurgent at Aston Villa. Of course he's going to start. No Oscar Bob either. Oscar Bob is just not getting into the side now. I can't wait to see these guys go, the older guys. I can't wait. Not that they're doing anything wrong, but I just want to see a bit of a refresh now. I'm very much in their headspace. Will this be how they line up? I'm not sure it will be. Let me build a team over here, and we'll try and work out where they go. So we know that the back line will look like this. This is easy, this is very easy, this bit. I'll put everyone in on the pitch. Silva, KDB, Kovacic, McAtee, Marmoush. So I reckon... So SofaScore have gone with this. McAtee on the left, Bernardo on the right, De Bruyne through the middle behind Marmoush. I think it might be slightly different than that. We've seen De Bruyne a little bit on the left recently, haven't we? But I think it might be like this. Marmoush, McAtee, KDB, and Kovacic, Silva, and Gundo. I think it's going to be something like this. I think it's going to be something like that, personally. That kind of thing, where KDB plays sort of as a false nine. McAtee and Marmoush do what they did against Crystal Palace. I think it's going to be something like that, which is... Yeah, it's interesting. I might be wrong. It could be that Marmoush is just through the middle. It could be that we do see... McAtee on the left or Silva on the left or KDB's drifted out there a little bit. I don't really know, but it's going to be interesting. Well, yeah, O'Reilly will get forward, of course, as well. He will get forward. But then, at the same time, will Nunez get really far forward? Will they tell Kovacic and Gundo just to sit a little bit? Or Bernardo? Bernardo's more likely to sit of these guys, I would say, like that. I don't think O'Reilly will get high on the left because that means you have Nunez sort of covering down here, and he's not going to do that. Nunez is not going to cover right centre-back. I think he'll sort of stay right here, not really high on the left. We'll see maybe Gundo drift that way a little bit. He'll tuck in a little bit. O'Reilly will get further forward, but maybe we'll see these guys sit a bit deeper. Nunes sort of maybe like there, that kind of thing. Or it might be Silva this side. I don't know. Something like that. Look, I'm not confident, I'll be honest with you. I did want to say, by the way, my watch along is on bigup.com. Please do consider joining the watch along. Yeah, I'll be catching you all later over there. Yeah, join me in the watch along. That'll be live in like 10 minutes time, as you can see on screen. The link is in the description. It's also in the pinned comments, so join that if you want to have a chat during the game as well. Bigup.com is free to join. It's good fun, and you guys can chat to me during the game. It's nice. But yeah, that is roughly the team. And I am not confident, if I'm being honest with you. There was some rumours that Echeverri was going to be in the squad, which turns out to be not true. Let me find the side anyway. There's the Villa side again. Yeah, the bench, Carson, Grealish, Doku, Nico. Nico Gonzalez not being available is interesting. If I try to understand the logic with this lineup, I would guess that Guardiola is going for control and experience. I would guess that he's going to try and keep the ball an awful lot so the players do not have to run. So the logic of that is that he chooses the most technical players. They keep the ball an awful lot. They have to run an awful lot less. I don't really like it, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't think we're quite as technically good as we used to be. I think the players have dropped off to the point where I think you start to be able to run to keep the ball as well. Like, I think the ingenuity and the sharpness is gone. So I'm not really sure that's a viable tactic right now. It doesn't mean it won't work, but it doesn't feel as sensible as it used to. And I am nervous about Aston Villa's power. Like, Aston Villa, I'll show you the results here. They just played, obviously, two wonderfully brilliant sides, very different sides. They played a Newcastle side, which is physically brilliant, and they absolutely battered them. They battered them. I mean, look at that. 4-1, and they absolutely deserved it as well. With Asensio and Kamara and Tielemans, McGinn, Watkins. They were very different sides today for what it's worth, but they were just much better than Newcastle. And that's a physical Newcastle side and a brilliant Newcastle side flying high right now. And they also played PSG off the park as well the other day. And like PSG are probably been the best side in Europe right now, you know. They were cracking against PSG. They could have maybe gone through in the end, with Konsa missing a chance later on. And PSG are a highly technical side. Vitinha, Fabio Ruiz, João Neves. But Rodgers, Tielemans, McGinn, Onana, Kamara, they just ran them off the park. So the home tax, yeah, it does sort of, there is an element of that. I'm just not confident. I'd be lying if I says it was, because Villa are just flying high right now. They are electric. And I know they're 7th in the table, but it's all about hot spells and all that kind of stuff. They've underperformed a little bit in the league, but they were dealing with Europe and, you know, the expectation that comes with being new to the Champions League as of recently. I know they've been a Champions League team before in their history, but, you know, this is new for this collection of players, this generation of Villa fans. So it definitely knocked them a little bit, but we can't deny that they're just flying high right now. They're flying high, and they are a cracking side. They are physical, aggressive, and they were all over PSG at times. They battered Newcastle. It could be a really fucking tough game. It could be an insanely tough game. I'm hoping we've got enough, but I can't sit here and pretend I'm really confident. The best case scenario is that it works, that Guardiola's unction, the uncles in midfield, give City more than enough to keep the ball a little bit. We get a bit of magic from De Bruyne. Marmoush takes his chance. McAtee's movement is once again really impressive, and we get in there something like that. That could be that gets in there. You know, a fluid system. It could be the one that gets it working for us, but at the same time, it could also struggle. It could struggle aggressively. So I'm not going to get my hopes up at all. I have been burned far too many times to expect anything from this game of note. And no Bob, yeah, Oscar Bob is just, he's not really, but he's not really going to play at all unless anyone gets injured, I would guess. Which is a shame, but I expect at this point Oscar Bob is, yeah, he's very much part of the backups because of the season and where it's gone. James McAtee, by the way, is absolutely getting his chance, isn't he? So we can't act like McAtee, if it ever comes to it, isn't getting his chance now. He's getting starts at the moment in the Premier League. So I'm sure McAtee will be appreciating that, and he might even change his opinion of what to do in the summer, because he is part of the first team and he's been playing regularly since January the 1st now, really. Since he came out and said he's thinking of leaving, Guardiola's played him an awful lot more. So I do think there's something in this, you know. He's getting his chance, and this is a deserved start, by the way. I personally thought he was good against Crystal Palace. I know people said he missed the chances, but his movement was excellent. He's got an eye for goal, a smell of goal, Guardiola would say. McAfee, there's your you got your virus detection on there, Carlington, with the typo. But yeah, no, Oscar Bob will be next season now. It's a write-off of a season for him. Maybe Club World Cup, Oscar Bob will shine. But it's not going to be fun today, is it? So City Villa, what's your predictions, guys, by the way? Do let me know your predictions. We need a massive game from the back line today. They have been good. They've been solid. They've been strong recently, and maybe that will play into our hands a little bit. Echeverri rumours. By the way, I did try to tell people, and people got annoyed at me. I said Echeverri's going to get the Peroni treatment. Like, everyone acted, not everyone, a lot of people maybe, like, in a nice way, naively, not like naively like an idiot. I mean naively as in, like, excitement. I've been naive a billion times. Like, I'm 39, so I've been around the block, and I know when to. If I was like 25, I'd get a lot more carried away as well. But I've stopped getting my hopes up with things like this. And my sense was that Echeverri wouldn't be involved at all this season. Maybe the odd game on the bench. He's not getting it at all. And I don't think he's ready for what it's worth. I don't think he is ready. Like, I've seen a guy who's obviously very talented, hyper talented, be great for Argentina under 20s. But he's a guy ultimately who was a rotation player for Liverpool Plate. And I know there's tactical issues there. And I know there was politics with him leaving and the fan base not liking him. But he wasn't fully ready to play 90 minutes anyway. Physically, he's got a lot to work on and improve. And it screamed, train with the first team and go for a loan to me. I'd be amazed if Pep's resting players for the FA Cup, by the way, JM 11, because we've got to get Champions League football. We have to. The club would choose Champions League football over the FA Cup. They would do it 10 times out of 10, I guarantee you. There's way more money in the Champions League, and ultimately that's where our chances of winning the Premier League lie, by being in the Champions League. So they're not resting anyone for the FA Cup, I guarantee you. Guardiola is just doing this because he thinks it'll win. And Pep has, if we don't turn up today, Pep, absolutely. I truly believe, yeah. I'll be very disappointed. I don't know. I'll be very disappointed if we lose today because of the obvious issues. He'll feel at this point he's just doing it to himself, and I hope we don't come to that. We'll see. Look, I love Pep with all my, he's a legend and so on. But we've got to be realistic about what we can achieve and what we can't achieve when we play a bunch of players that can't run anymore. Marmoush, of course, has been excellent. 6 goals and 11 Premier League appearances so far since joining. He's been a breath of fresh air. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Will he get another goal tonight? He needs one. He needs a big game tonight, because we are desperate for a big performance from him. And MCATEE gets his chance. Kovacic has been obviously decent recently, coming off the bench. And of course you've got De Bruyne playing his way towards the end of his career. Massive against Palace, but poor against. He was poor against Everton midweek, De Bruyne, but he is tired. He's a little bit older. But we need De Bruyne at his best. Maybe it's a home thing where De Bruyne at home will be a lot better in front of his own fans. I'm not too worried about Gundogan. I think Gundogan's been good recently. Gundogan and Kovacic together works a little bit. Bernardo Silva. Look, Bernardo's been struggling a little bit as well. There's loads of rumours about his future, potentially moving on. I'm still not convinced it'll be that formation. I'm not convinced it will be. We will see. I still think it'll be something more like this, where O'Reilly, Nunes, Marmoush out wide, Gundo, Silva. Kovacic is usually sort on the left, isn't he? It'll be more like this, I reckon. No, there's no pace there at all, MCFC Normski. But it is what it is. Guys, I'll be doing my watch along in a minute. Give the video a like if you don't mind. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to join me for the watch along, it'd be massively appreciated. I'm going live on bigup.com. Please help support the community over there by joining, signing up. And if you want to chat to me as well as a video call during the game, you can do. All you got to do is press the little hands up thing on it. I'll show you Steve Inception. There we go. I'm setting up. Oh, there's a bit of a lag there. There we go. I'll add the scoreboard as well at the bottom there, as you can see. Dismiss that there. I'm going to go live in a second when the camera comes through. Join me live on bigup.com/Esteemed Kompany for the watch along. I am nervous. I'm very nervous, but get your questions in anyway. Join me for this, for a chat. Fingers crossed I'm back here on YouTube in 2 hours from now, feeling happy. But right now, I'm feeling apprehensive. We'll see. Guys, click the link in the description or the pinned comment. Up the Blues. We'll see until we die.